You can also listen to us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/theclockcleaners.
Hello and welcome to the Clock Cleaners Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Keith.
And today we're recapping SmackDown Live from August 15th.
Yes, the last show before SummerSlam.
Yep.
Overall, decent episode.
Yeah. SmackDown's getting better.
Yeah.
They're learning.
Well, I would say that is true.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Cena's back too.
Yeah.
Because he's involved in, bigger storylines.
Yeah. And
So he's carrying the main event scene, more or less.
Yeah. That's that's a very fair thing because it was very lackluster when it was just Orton and Mahal and the Singh brothers.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. I didn't really think about that because granted the U.S. title was pretty much the main title on the show.
Yeah, but it's just when you see that, it puts a damper on the opinion automatically,
right?
Because it's not supposed to be the top title, even if it's being booked as such.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the fear of when they put the Universal title on Lesnar,
right?
How now the main title is being overshadowed by the secondary title.
Yeah,
but it's been working out at least halfway decently. On Raw.
It was overshadowed by top feuds. That was it.
Yeah,
which is fine. But
there's a big difference between a lower card title overpowering the main title than just being like a big feud.
Right.
Like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg did that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
When it wasn't for the title.
Right.
That Survivor Series, that was the big match.
Yeah.
So, and Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam last year.
Yeah.
There was no build to it. It was still the main event.
Owens was the champion at Survivor Series, and he was in the Survivor Series match, so there was no championship match there.
But that's fine, but it's still...
Yeah, it was the main... Yeah.
Yeah, it was above the title.
Yeah, fair enough. Very good.
Anyway, SmackDown opened with John Cena, announcement of John Cena versus Jinder Mahal, which is going to be one of the most highly anticipated matches in SmackDown history.
According to Tom Phillips.
Yeah, which is funny because I obviously whenever they talk about SmackDown now, they make it seem as if SmackDown before it went live didn't exist, which is odd because it holds the same name.
I wonder what the ratings were for SmackDown in comparison to what they are now.
Oh, you mean like back,
when they were taped?
Or you're talking about like at the beginning, or are you talking about like 2 years ago?
No, right before the...
Probably worse.
No, that's what I kind of figured because like we said, it was pretty much a recap show, and then you had your B-stars were your main event.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine that the ratings, because now I think they're still like a good chunk less than Raw, but I think that it's much closer now than it was.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, there's been some times when they have beaten them in the ratings.
Yeah, because I think that SmackDown's running around 2.5 million.
Yeah.
They're probably sub 2.
Granted, it's a different age from when it first started.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because ratings really don't matter
now. No.
Because of
there's
your alternate ways to watch it.
Yeah, there's so many ways that you can, that they don't track it traditionally.
Yeah.
Because they don't really pay too much attention to the Hulu version that people watch, or you could watch it on
it's PlayStation TV, right?
I guess, but I think
is that delayed?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But you can also watch highlights on YouTube.
I'm sure Sling TV you have it too.
Yeah, but I think those count as
regular cable ratings.
Well, maybe not as cable ratings, but as maybe it is completely separate.
Yeah.
Then. Because.
Well, I mean, the only way I think they really find I'm not even sure how they track them, because I know back in the day, well, I guess they were Nielsen ratings, right?
They still do that.
Yeah, but they actually contact you, right?
I guess.
I think that's how. I think you voluntarily let them know that you were watching it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
let's just get into it.
Well, actually, I got one more point.
Okay.
Because I was listening to the Michael Kay show, and they were saying that the ratings of live listeners are the only thing that ESPN knows about, and they have a podcast version of their show, and it's completely completely separate from. So like their ratings when it's live don't necessarily reflect their audience. Because there's a lot of people who just listen to the podcast afterwards. So it's just...
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
So anyway.
Very good.
So the show, well, I guess officially opens with the Singh brothers coming out to announce the WWE champion, Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, apparently it was India's Independence Day, so they were going to have a celebration.
Yeah.
What
do you call this?
What?
Is it Bollywood dancing? Or is it just Indian folk
I
dancing?
don't know.
I wasn't
know Bollywood
sure.
has its own thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they very much like they did the SmackDown after he won the title.
Right.
They had one of those the Indian dancing things.
Yeah, it was like a cultural. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about this segment. It was a little awkward. Just not even that. It's just
my thought.
The old school thinking. It's just kind of.
Well, I don't really care about the fact that they did it so much of what they're getting at, because obviously they're trying to, I guess, attract Indian viewership. But I don't know if this is more offensive because A, they're only doing it for him.
To get heat on him, basically.
Yeah, so they're kind of they're doing two things. They're pandering to a specific audience, and they're also making the rest of their audience mad.
Oh yeah,
so
it's constant booze.
And what happens when he loses the title, and this Indian audience realizes that I guess they didn't really care. They're not trying to diverse themselves. It's just for that one time,
right?
And to try to get them. So it might be off-putting for I guess it's just because they're new, which obviously is the only way to go about it. But
right.
I don't know how the audience would react to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I'm not sure if this was it's a good decision to go this route, or if it's a bad decision.
That's kind of how you bring in new viewers, new customers, whatever.
It's true. It's just,
but I guess the way they go to it, I get it. It's weird,
and it's always possible that after you do this, they expect it to be a regular thing, and then all of a sudden it's not.
Yeah.
So,
but
anyway,
and especially considering the fact that it's with Shinsuke.
Oh, he's Japanese.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, his whole anti-American thing doesn't work very well when he's feuding with the Japanese. No, because now
he's just feuding with the crowd, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shinsuke comes out.
All right, so after the dancing thing, he has an older woman sing the Indian national anthem. Mm-hmm. And the entire time she's singing, she's getting booed.
Yeah, we're going to bring you up in the ring and want you to sing, but you're going to get booed the whole time, just so you know.
Very distracting. Although she did handle it very well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I was surprised. And then Jinder, after the national anthem, Jinder starts...
the American, yeah.
Thing. And then that's when Shinsuke comes out and says that today in Japan is a day that we celebrate we honor the people who died in war.
Right, yeah.
And on Sunday in America, it's SummerSlam.
I'm gonna take the title, and you're gonna lose your title. And then he was like, "To me," or whatever he said.
Yeah, he was singing it was like a birthday thing.
Yeah. So. Which again, the mystique of Shinsuke.
It should be like he doesn't need to talk.
Yeah, and the crowd starts wutting and not understanding what he's saying. And, I mean, a lot of the word, what did he say? Oh, commemorate. That's got to be a tough word to...
I would assume so.
Yeah, and I think he had trouble with SummerSlam as well.
Well, he just says it strangely. It's not even necessarily that he's having trouble with it.
Fair enough. Well, yeah.
It's SummerSlam. Summer.
Yeah, because he's a very... I don't even want
it
to call
doesn't
him
matter.
Flamboyant.
It's not. It's just he's just not fluent English.
No. I mean, his just style.
Oh, no, he's just weird.
It's his mystique. He's the artist formerly known as the king of strong style, the rock star, Shinsuke.
Yeah, they try too hard. That's really what it is. Anyway, so that was pretty much the end of the end of the segment.
Yeah, this has been the only confrontation between the two of them, right?
The only actual confrontation.
Yeah. So, I mean, granted, they've only given it a build-up of, 2 weeks?
Well, yeah, because last week they had no interaction because...
Jinder fought Orton, yeah.
And what did Shinsuke do? Was he not even on?
No, they had that interview with him. Because remember they did the taped interview with Renee?
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's when Randy attacked Rusev after. Rusev attacked Randy after.
Yes. All right. But yeah, we'll see how good the match is. I don't know. Shinsuke really hasn't been holding up. I don't know if it's him or if it's WWE, but his matches haven't been great.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this match. It's a tough match to call because Jinder works a very simple style of wrestling. It's kind of an old school style, which is why him and Randy worked well together. Not that their matches were
anything
entertaining
to write home
or
about,
really, but they were decent.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The only good thing is that there's no way in hell it was going to be the main event. So
no,
it's not Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar last year, where it was the main event for literally no reason.
Right, so not to get off track for a second, but compared to last year's SummerSlam,
significantly better.
A bit between Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah.
The only match that beats out these is John Cena versus AJ.
Yeah, whereas with Cena and Corbin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's not even close.
Yeah. All right, so up next we had the first match of the night with Becky Lynch versus Natalya, and after they were both in the ring, then Naomi came out, and she's going to be on commentary. I don't know if that was announced previously that she was. No,
I think they were surprised about it.
Yeah.
So this was a waste of time, Naomi being on commentary.
Her mic skills have gotten better, but
she's better. She's better in the ring, but on the commentary, she just feels the lost.
It was very awkward.
And I think they're only doing it because Bliss does it so often, but
that's her strength.
I was going to say she can actually have a conversation with Michael Cole and Corey Graves and Booker T, whereas Naomi kind of answers questions and that's about it.
Wow.
So I don't know if
she wasn't comfortable sitting next to JBL.
I guess that's possible. I have a black friend. His name's Farouk.
Oh, terrible.
Anyway, so. But she really just didn't seem like she was into it.
Just playing to the person's strengths, especially since both your champions aren't your top or your premier talent. I guess I don't know. Like it's not Charlotte or
Becky,
one of the
or
four
Sasha
or
Bailey.
Yeah, so you would think they would just play to their strengths.
It's true.
Granted, Naomi's pretty much known for her entrance. That's really what the WWE has pushed.
I was gonna say they were better off having her sit in the lifeguard chair.
Yeah,
but
that fits Alexa a little more.
Oh yeah, well she's short. So, anyway, Natalya ends up winning over Becky, which was a little bit surprising, but not surprising because she's the one with the title match.
I don't know. It's just weird the way they do things. Like Natalya winning here makes sense, but last week Orton beating Jinder, and that.
Well, like I said, I think that they just did.
Well, I understand they were storytelling how because the Singh brothers weren't there, so he was able to get
the story progression wasn't because like I said, I thought that match had happened the week before. Yeah, but
you were right about that.
But like sometimes they just try to that was literally just getting Randy a win. There was nothing else to it.
Yeah. You beat Bray Wyatt, though.
I just meant in this feud, but I know what you mean. So, Becky actually pretty much had Natalya on the ropes. She goes for a leg drop off the top rope, which is a relatively uncommon thing
weird
for her to do.
Yeah, and it didn't look like she landed.
And it looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So she goes for that leg drop, but Natalya moves out of the way, and then she puts her in the sharpshooter.
Yep, and Becky taps out relatively quick.
Yeah. But, I'm assuming there's a lot of time restraints, especially on matches like this.
Yeah.
And the fact that the segment wasn't nearly close to being done yet.
But, you got to give it to Natalya. So she's, a good wrestler. So it's not like one of those matches where, say Carmella beat her in a one-on-one or something.
I was going to say Lana.
Yeah, Lana, fair enough.
Carmella is a little more formidable than Lana is.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So... After the match,
I only said that because Carmella's comes up.
After the match, Natalya tries to put the sharpshooter on Becky again.
And then
for some reason.
Yep.
And Naomi chases her off.
Yep, and then we get Carmella coming out and basically saying that good luck to both of you this Sunday, basically stating that whoever wins the match, she's going to cash in.
Yeah. Ellsworth was with her as well.
Of course.
And he was very...
Oh, man, he got booed. Not a surprise.
Well, it's true. Nobody likes him.
No.
So...
Both the men in Carmella's life are getting booed heavily.
Yes. Well, assuming that they're still together, I don't know for sure.
I'm pretty sure they are. I got a question. I'm just curious to see your stance on this. Mm-hmm. So they did something with the Yankees.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, you said. Is it weird that Big Cass is there being a huge heel, but doing kind of just like company work? No, you don't think? I guess Braun was there too. I don't know. I guess it's just weird that they have the bad guy there. But I guess kayfabe's kind of dead.
All three of them were heels.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was Alexa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Never mind.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's PR.
That's true.
It's the company acknowledging the fact that people understand what's going on. So it's not like it's a secret anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't think of who else was there until I started saying.
Yeah, I had no problem with that.
But then again, it's the Yankees, and people hate them, so it makes sense then.
Some people do.
Hey, they were in Boston the night before. They hate the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I don't hate the Yankees.
So, up next, we had a backstage segment where Tamina is yelling at Lana because she doesn't have a match this week. I guess Lana's in charge of Tamina's booking now.
Well, no, she was going to use her ravishing ways to get her or whatever the hell she said last week.
Yeah, she was going to help teach her the ways of being ravishing or whatever. So, Lana basically tells Tamina, I have my ways, and eventually will turn you into a female Rusev. That's not what she said, but that's what she meant.
Is that what she meant?
Because she said that
be the female
we'll
Rusev?
get you to crush.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume that that's what they're getting at.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't got a problem with this at all.
It's fine.
Yeah.
If it leads to something, it's fine. If it doesn't lead to anything, it's stupid.
They're taking two characters that are basically one-dimensional and helping each other out.
I don't even know why they bothered having Lana wrestle. I guess they gave her a chance, and since they didn't like what they saw,
I don't even know if that's necessarily true.
I would assume so, based off the fact that they gave her a few matches.
Yeah.
So, okay, you get this one shot. Otherwise, you're going back to managing. That could be it.
Maybe. We'll see. But, yeah, it's weird that they kind of have her and Rusev completely split up.
Yeah, but I thought it was because they were going to have her wrestle, but if she's not going to be wrestling, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
Or there'll be like a faction with Tamina, Rusev, and Lana.
Maybe.
And they'll be the whatever that you want to call them. But
I don't know.
But she'll have the female Rusev and the regular Rusev and Lana.
So you think once Tamina gets her groove on, so to speak.
Sure.
Eventually we'll get Tamina and Nia in a big match?
Maybe. Not anytime soon.
Yeah. No.
It might be a standoff if they have another Survivor Series match.
I think that would be
something
that they would look to build because they're both big presence.
Yeah, she is more likely to be in a Survivor Series match. I don't think she was in the last year's.
No.
Because it was... I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe I think she was.
It was Becky, Alexa... Was Mickey in it at that point?
No.
Becky, Alexa... I know that...
Was Naomi?
She must have been.
Yeah, she was there.
I know that...
Natalia.
Natalia was because Nikki was supposed to be.
Yeah, and then Carmella.
Carmella was the fifth one.
Okay. I could have sworn they had Nia on there because the Raw women's.
No, Nia was on the Raw side.
Yeah. Oh,
we're naming SmackDown people.
No, I know, but I thought you were talking who wasn't there last year.
No, I was talking about Tamina.
No, okay.
I knew that
she hasn't
Nia
been there
was. Oh, yeah, she just came back recently. Then why were we talking about this?
I don't know. You brought it up. That's why.
Well, I know, but I was also naming SmackDown people. So were you.
No, I know, but I thought you were getting to Nia.
No, I wasn't getting to Raw.
Okay.
No.
Very good.
All right. Let's move on.
Yeah. Oh, this segment was pretty good. So Daniel Bryan was in the back, and he had gotten approached by the Usos.
Yes.
And apparently Daniel Bryan wants to join their rap group.
Well, yeah, because they said, we have a question. And then he's like, you want me to be the third member of your rap group?
That's right.
I'm like, no.
Well, no. One of them said yes, and the other one said no.
Yeah. They wanted to know who they were facing.
Yeah, they wanted to know who they were facing, and that's when Daniel Bryan said it was going to be Xavier and Big E at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And so they said, we want Kofi and Xavier tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
which is weird, because that's not very often that they do something like this.
Yeah, this is just a rematch of Battleground. Yeah.
Yeah, because Big E wasn't in the match.
Yeah, because we were surprised that they were. Yeah, he wasn't in it.
Yeah. So they. Then they made the match for later on tonight and that night. All right. So up next was Rusev versus Chad Gable.
Yeah, I was pretty excited that this match was going to happen, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
And
well, it pretty much didn't happen.
Yeah.
So Rusev just throws Gable out of the ring.
Yeah, Gable hit him with a belly to back suplex, and then I think they ended up fighting outside the ring, and that's when Rusev threw him into the stairs, and then that's when the referee ended up getting to the 10 count very quickly.
Yeah, but I guess they were just trying to get it over with. But yeah, they both get counted out. Gable gets thrown over the announcer's table.
Oh yeah, right into one of the chairs.
And then Rusev puts the accolade on him, and that's about it. Well,
you put it on the table.
Yeah. We'll put him on the table.
On the table, yeah.
And then he grabs the microphone, goes into the ring, says Randy, and then gets RKO'd out of nowhere. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That it was very smooth motion for Orton, so it was pretty good.
Well, I mean, this feud wasn't built on anything. They kind of just threw it together, and this is kind of the perfect way to just keep it going.
Well, just have him get attacked?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's back and forth.
They don't need... Yeah, that's all they need to be.
Yeah. Well,
the whole thing was that Rusev wanted competition, basically.
It's true. But it also, at the same time, I think it's kind of funny that, like, they're finally figuring out that maybe we don't need to talk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
that would be nice.
If
they have too much...
Yeah, there's too much talking, not enough action. Because there's a lot of things that could be solved by just doing things.
Oh, yeah.
Or progressed by just doing things.
Oh, like Bray Wyatt?
It's true. But he has to talk.
He has to talk.
That's his thing.
Dumping the bucket of blood on Finn was the best thing he's done in weeks.
It's true.
Maybe
Instead
months.
of him just talking in circles.
Yes. Because you get very lost in Bray's talking.
That's because no one listens.
No, I don't listen in general, so.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right.
So up next we had, I guess AJ was coming out to apologize to Shane. I guess he announced it earlier. It was announced earlier on.
Twice, they put up a graphic with the two of them and says, AJ apologizes to Shane. And I'm like, how stupid is that?
Yeah, I mean...
Why are you announcing that?
I get it.
Yes,
they're just intertwining Shane into their storyline.
Yeah.
That's basically all that is.
The whole
here.
reason they did it is putting it on TV. Okay, AJ and Shane are going to have some kind of confrontation. That's so they want people to stay watching or try to keep them on the channel. I get it, but you gotta sound so stupid in the process.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just
whatever.
They feel the need to do it.
Whatever.
Yeah. So.
I knew you.
All right. So yeah, AJ basically came out and said that he wanted to call Shane out and apologize for what happened last week, as it was inadvertently.
Yes.
And or inadvertent. And Shane said, "No need to apologize. I know, but come SummerSlam, if this happens, I'm not going to hold back."
Yeah.
And then AJ was like, "I got a question for you, man to man. You're not going to screw me over on Sunday, are you? Just because of this little mishap?" And that's basically when Shane said, "No, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to put my hands on you."
Yeah. So he's going to be impartial, but he's also not going to take any crap.
Yeah. And then that's when Owens comes out. I'll let you take the Owens part.
All right. So Owens comes out and says he would never attack a referee on purpose. So
he's so
as
good.
if that's not been the whole thing that he's been doing the last few matches. Owens offers a handshake to Shane, and Shane's like, "You shouldn't be shaking my hand."
You should be shaking your opponent's hand at SummerSlam.
Yeah. So AJ doesn't accept the handshake that Owens actually put out, and then they start to shove each other, and then AJ goes to punch Owens, but Owens ducks it, and
Shane catches his hand, right?
Well, yeah, because Owens ducks it, he heads towards Shane, Shane blocks it, and then Owens attacks AJ from behind. He goes, AJ starts talking with Shane with his back to Owens, and then he ducks out of the way, and Shane gets super kicked.
Yeah.
And then Owens kind of runs down the ramp.
He's
with
like,
his head,
oh my God,
oh my God, between his legs.
Oh my God, I broke my mother's vase.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, and, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that means there's no way in hell Shane doesn't get involved in this match in some way.
But yeah, like we said, the whole reason for this segment was because they wanted to add Shane into the mix. Because Owens and Styles have been doing enough the last, 2 months?
Yeah, well, it's probably one of the longest running feuds of.
I mean, they were going into. When did they have their match?
Their first match was at Backlash.
Backlash, right? That was that was May. Yeah, because June was Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it's been that long. But we had that period where
Money in the
was
Bank
intertwined.
everything took a break.
Yeah.
Because Owens and AJ were both in the match. So.
Right, but they were, still on opposite teams during tag matches.
Yeah, they still faced each other,
yeah.
but it was like the feud took a hold.
Yeah, a halt. I gotcha. So, up next we had the tag team match that was talked about earlier with the New Day facing the Usos. This was a good match.
Yeah, the four of them have been pretty.
Yeah, in the beginning,
or 5 of them.
Yeah, Kofi and Xavier just were beating the crap out of one of the Usos. And then I guess he rolled out of the ring, and I think this is the point where it went to. No, this wasn't where they went to commercial. But the New Day ended up coming out, and then the Usos took advantage of him. There was one segment where Xavier got punched in the head, and he was down for a while, and then they started attacking Kofi, and that's when they kind of had the momentum of the match.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of the Usos, I guess, strength is their teamwork.
Right.
Because a lot of the times is if they're going to win, it's when they get the opportunity to take out one member of the other team.
Right.
So
yeah, the Usos pick up the win with a double super kick onto Kofi.
Yeah.
So.
And so yeah.
That was it.
It's still odd that they had pretty much the same match the week before.
Yeah, I think the dark match this week was Ty, Harper, maybe and Sammy versus the Ascension and Mike Kanellis. I think that was the dark match.
But what was the tag? Oh, Aiden English was the tag match.
That was at a house show. It was Aiden English and Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper and Sin Cara.
Well, no, I was just saying that last week I think it was Ty and Sammy versus
the Usos on the show. That was on SmackDown last week.
No, I thought that was Mike Kanellis and.
No, that was
2 weeks
ago.
A
couple weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I thought that was last week.
No. Yeah, no, they fought the Usos last week. Because remember we said on paper this match to tie in.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That makes more sense.
Yep.
All right, so up next was the final episode of Fashion Peaks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Fashion Peaks, right.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, you did. You did.
So for some reason, Tyler Breeze is dressed as a girl again.
Well, no, Fandango was talking into the phone, talking to Diane.
Oh, yeah, as if...
And he was telling him about his experience with the aliens and how they probed him.
Yes.
And he was saying things got very... Did he say rough?
I think so.
Or deep.
He said deep.
And then he said, it mentally probed me.
Yeah.
And then that's when Breeze came in, who was dressed as...
a
presume
woman?
is Diane.
Yeah, I would guess that
the woman who,
Why are you talking in the phone? I'm right here.
Oh, yeah. And then he pulls out a rock, and he says, this is a rock that I had gotten from my encounter, and it was in my back my back pocket.
Yeah.
He said, it's I forget what he say. It's this, looks into the future, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I forget what he said exactly when he went to throw the rock.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah, he said
I was distracted by what happened next.
So then he throws the rock, and all of a sudden you hear, ow! And it was the Ascension.
Yep.
They come in, bringing back the pie that they stole, was it last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They, like, ripped through it.
Yeah, it was, ripped through. And then they're pulling everything out with tweezers, and one was, there was, hair?
Yeah.
And then they pulled out a Band-Aid, and then they pulled out this thing, and he said, Kyler was like, that looks like gluten. And then the Ascension's like, we live a gluten-free lifestyle.
Yeah. That was strange.
Yeah. And then they ended up pulling a note, and it said, "To be." And, and the whole tag division is
Does that mean
danger.
anything to you?
2B, or is it 2Bs?
2B.
It was 2B?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not really. I mean, I don't know. It was double A last week. Now it's 2B.
That's got to be something then.
I think it's just, I don't know.
No, well, they clearly had a path.
Oh yeah,
with
obviously.
the Tully thing.
Well, right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's got to be related to something.
I don't know.
But after this, it went to black, and then it said the fashion files will return in 25 years.
And the crowd was all silent.
Yeah.
And everything.
No, they were booing.
Oh, were they booing?
Yeah.
Okay, that
and
makes sense.
then it changed from 25 years to 2 weeks, and then they started cheering.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a reference to Twin Peaks coming back 25 years later. I think that's what happened.
Makes sense.
So yeah, that was it.
Yeah, they really struck gold here with the.
And they're bringing the Ascension in pretty much on a regular
basis. Yeah, I
basis.
mean it's something for them to do.
It's a good way to get 4 people TV time.
Yeah, and you fit it into what, a 4-minute segment or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
No, they never are.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I guess we're not going to find out what happens at SummerSlam.
No, but that's fine. We're too busy figuring out what happens with Goldust.
It's true. We can't have too many mysteries.
It's true.
All
right.
Yeah.
So up next was the main event.
The highly anticipated main event.
Jinder Mahal versus John Cena.
Yeah.
John Cena.
Super Cena.
It's true. But yeah, this was like kind of a normal match. The Singh brothers kept on trying to interfere with Cena, grabbing him when he's like by the
outside
ropes and stuff.
Anything like that. Pulling him outside, I think they did at one point.
And then the ref finally catches them, and then he ejects them. And at that point, Cena takes over, hits Mahal with an AA. Mahal kicks out.
Which is, I guess that's pretty standard now, right?
Yeah, no, the AA is never really one single AA is really very rarely a guaranteed. And then he goes to the middle rope and hits an AA off the middle rope.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, he goes for the pin, and then they get attacked by Baron Corbin.
Yeah, because at this point, I was like, oh, well, that's definitely going to finish the match. I was like, they're going to make Jinder lose 2 weeks in a row, and then all of a sudden you see Corbin come flying out with the briefcase.
Yeah.
The contract.
So
Sorry.
he attacks the two of them. The match gets thrown away.
Mm-hmm.
He beats down Cena with the briefcase, and then he goes to leave. He's walking up the ramp, and then he turns around. He's like, you know what? I'm doing this. Runs down the ring, cashes in the briefcase, stands in one corner while he waits for Jinder to get up.
But kept turning his head, looking at Cena
Yeah.
when he was getting back up. Because at this point, Cena was kind of on the apron.
Yeah, he was climbing back into the ring.
Gathering himself together.
So the bell finally rings after Jinder gets up. Corbin punches Cena, knocks him off the apron, and then that allows Jinder to roll up Corbin, and Corbin gets pinned.
And that's it.
So Corbin cashed in without winning the title.
Yeah. Huh.
I was in disbelief.
I was very surprised.
Because I thought that I thought for sure that if he cashed in that he wasn't going to.
It was happening so quick that I didn't know what to I didn't put the pieces together, but I was like, oh wow, he's gonna win it. And then I was like, oh, wait, why would Nakamura and Mahal just have a match together for no reason? And then I was like, oh, yep, what? That happened? Okay.
Yeah. So,
which you would think that Cena wouldn't get involved because that would mean he'd get a title match at SummerSlam.
It's true, but whatever. So they kind of telegraphed this a little bit. I don't know if they made the decision like I don't know how long ago they decided.
They could have just been standing in Gorilla and they told them to go out.
Yeah, well, because they kept on hammering in the amount of people who cashed in successfully, and that Money in the Bank's almost a guaranteed championship over and over and over again. So it kind of made it feel like maybe
it wasn't going to happen. Yeah.
So, but I could be wrong, and it was just a coincidence.
I mean, I'm fine, obviously, with the decision because I don't think Corbin was ready yet
to be a champion.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, they haven't really given him anything.
No.
I mean, he had a little feud with Sami Zayn, and then that was it. I mean, even his feud with Dean never went anywhere. You know?
Yeah. But well, that one was also cut short.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, that could have been so much more. They could have done so much with that.
Yeah, well, they put the show or the match on a pre-show.
Like I said.
And then they had him win the non-title match that was a street fight.
Yes. Like, that was pointed out by a couple of sources that Corbin and Dave Meltzer had gotten into a back and forth on Twitter over the weekend. I actually saw everything that went down. And I guess in the WWE world, Dave Meltzer is kind of not spoken about. He's more of an indie guy because they don't really talk about him. You know, his
Well, they because he knows.
They don't acknowledge.
Things.
You're right, but nothing's acknowledged in this world. So I mean, maybe Corbin getting involved with him kind of was.
Yeah, well, it draws attention to someone who they don't really want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when if like anyone was having a Twitter war with Hardy, like when Wyatt was when he was still in TNA.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
That's true.
So, but yeah. So. It could be they're soured on Corbin. It could be that
he's going to get a big win over Cena. And
I don't think that's going to happen. But.
This was just one of those things where let's knock him down, make him look weak, and then give him a huge victory so you kind of forget everything. But I don't know. Interesting to see where we go from here.
I don't know. But it's kind of nice that the briefcase is gone or the contract is gone because it was kind of getting a little old.
Well, that's all he clamored to. That was it. He had nothing else to build off of, which, you know, it's supposed to elevate it, I guess, the character and everything, but it kind of really...
It defined him.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not
But I mean, that's the same with Carmella, you know?
Yes, but I think she's pulling it off a little better.
Well, her mics are... Yeah, I guess she's able to.
Yeah. So I think it's just it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
But
that was our SmackDown review.
If you liked what you saw here, please like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.